Hi, Shep Hyken, your customer service and experience expert. Today, I'm going to talk about how sometimes doing the expected can be surprising for your customers. Now, just in case you didn't know, I have a weekly customer service and customer experience podcast, and it's called Amazing Business Radio. This has been running for more than 12 years. Each week, I get the honor of interviewing some very smart people, and recently, I met Eric Stone, author of Jumpstart Your Workplace Culture. One of the topics we discussed was the wow experience. Now, before we go further, I want to mention that I've always had concerns about organizations that attempt to wow their customers at every interaction. It's just impossible to do. The concept of wow is often associated with going above and beyond what's expected, so much so that the customer is blown away by the experience. Now, the problem is that's not always possible. That's why I took it out of my vocabulary and started using the word amazing to describe what I think wow really is all about, which is a consistent and predictable experience that always meets and even sometimes exceeds on occasion the customer's expectations. It's easy to say the people at that company are amazing. It's a little clunky and awkward to say the people at that company are wow. That's why I love what Eric Stone said. Wow is a surprise. In other words, it's not about every experience, it's about that occasional opportunity to surprise a customer. It could be something big, such as handling an emergency situation where employees go above and beyond. As I said earlier, you can't count on that as every opportunity at every interaction that you have, but what you can do is find little ways to surprise a customer. For example, if you return a call quickly, the customer might say, wow, that was fast. Now, that's not an over-the-top or above and beyond experience, but it's a small surprise. Now, with that in mind, let's use the return phone call as an example. When you know people are often surprised and make comments like, wow, that was fast, simply because you called them back quickly, don't just say thank you and feel good about the experience. Instead, operationalize the experience. In other words, make fast return calls part of your official process. Set a standard such as all calls will be returned within 2 hours or whatever the appropriate length of time you feel is right for you. Now, with that as an example, what other interactions do you have with customers that need to be formally operationalized? Here's a few ideas to get your creative juices flowing. First, all phone calls are to be answered within 3 rings. Next, a promise to only transfer a customer once, knowing you'll get the customer to the right person the first time. Third, proactive updates should be provided to inform customers before they reach out to you asking for information. Fourth, following up after a resolution to make sure a customer is still happy. And finally, acknowledge customer milestones, such as congratulating them on their 10th order, or you can do it on their birthdays, or maybe the anniversary of when they first started doing business with you. Now, none of these ideas are above and beyond types of wows, but they will cause a customer to notice. Use these examples to help you get creative about finding other simple or small wows that you can operationalize and make part of the customer's regular experience when they do business with you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short lesson. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Shep Hyken reminding you to always be amazing.